we were sitting at 300 million, which shows that we are going somewhere as a municipality. We have cash flow stability, and we have enough funds to meet those short-term obligations, paying our staff and suppliers. And cash stability is to aid or avoid the cash crisis that may negatively affect us as a municipality. We are trying to deal with that severely. The next slide, it is the graph that, or the pie chart that we have put there, just to indicate on the cash and cash equivalent. More than 2/3, we have increased our cash and cash equivalent by more than 2/3 from what we had the previous financial year. The pie chart is just indicating to all of us that there is a good or a huge improvement if you were to be able to double what you have to 1/3 or to 2/3 in that pie chart. Then the financial performance highlights the following. You will see that we have put our surplus and our expenditure, and that you will see that it shows that we don't have any unauthorized. We are having more than what we what we have budgeted. It's more as to compare to the actual expenditure. I have also we have also put the slide that speaks to financial position. The financial position of the municipality, starting from the assets, the current assets, until the net assets. The next, it's a graph. Yeah, what's that graph? It shows with that color of orange. If it is orange, you know, men are colorblind. So you will see that in 2025, almost when you are comparing everything with 2024, the municipality has increased in everything, which is a good sign of financial viability. In terms of the budget, yes, we have budgeted 5 billion, and we, in terms of the revenue, and we managed to have that actual of 4.5 billion, and our expenditure was 4.2 billion. We have 320 million from what we have budgeted on the expenditure, and then that information is the information for the surplus for cash. I will then take you to the last or second last slide that speaks to Mogale City, that we are viable. You will see with our acidity test or our current ratio, that shows that we are above that 1%. And you will see even in our budget that we projected the cash flow to be sitting above 200 million. But the fact that we opened with 299 already, that surplus, it will go a little bit higher. The previous speakers have spoken on the issue of debt relief. We were owing ESCOM 216 million by the time when we entered a debt relief. I can confirm that for the past 24 months, the first cycle we have complied, and we have received the 1/3, and even for the second 12 months, we have complied with making sure that condition 6.4 of that debt relief of making payment when it is due, we have done that, and it shows that our cash flow management, we are improving as a municipality. And in terms of the collection rate, yes, in 2024 we were sitting at 89%. In 2025 we have increased our collection rate to 90%. We understand that we are still below that 95 as required. However, we are trying all our efforts to make sure that whoever owes Mogale City must pay. And we always cry to the bigger leadership that employees that are working for government, you should find a mechanism that deals with them to be able to pay if they're staying within the municipality. Because what is happening, only the employees for the council are forced by the law that they should not owe the municipality more than 90 days. Therefore, if they owe that, we'll be able to deduct that. So when you are sitting in the parliament making law, please remember also to include for those that are working for the other spheres of government to be able to assist us in terms of the debt that they are having and they are not paying, whereas they are receiving the salary every month. In terms of our compliance in grant spending, we can confirm that you will see even in the annual report that we have spent as a municipality 99%. It's only 1.7 that remained that was not spent. So we are saying also if you give us grants, we will spend it for you. It is, we have already proved ourselves that give us money, we will utilize it. Furthermore, we are saying ESCOM and Rand Water are up to date, and including the small creditors. You will not hear anyone writing to your offices to say Mogale City is owing us unless there's a dispute. We are saying Mogale City is viable, has got a strong liquidity as shown and positive cash flow from operation. Debt levels are managed and we don't have any new borrowings. Revenue collections, it's improving, but we all know as citizens of this country that the economic condition of our country is not favorable. Therefore, this is one of the contributors for us not to collect the entire 100%. And you will see in the previous slide that our assets-based or our infrastructure as Mogale City have grown up. And Mogale City has got a funded budget. Just to add to what the executive mayor said, in our adjustment for 2023-2024, Treasury, they actually confirmed both national and pretty to say our budget is funded. And even the new one, it is funded, and we just need to continue to make sure that all revenue collected must be ring-fenced to be able to do the service delivery to our communities. All these indicators that we have put are just demonstrating that as Mogale City, we have financial resources, capacity, and stability to deliver the service, and we will remain viable in the medium and long term. I thank you, Chairperson.
Or coming. The executive may want to say something.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chair. And that is our report. And most of the time when we present our reports, we speak about good things. And then we'll be asked a question that then turns the table around. So I think it's also important to also confess that in terms of infrastructure, we've had challenges, particularly in relation to the wastewater treatment works. That has been a problem in the city, and we have put in a program of maintenance of our wastewater treatment plants, which is underway. Just to confirm, when we began the financial year in 2023, about 12 pump stations were not working. And thus far, we have fixed 10 of those pump stations. And in this financial year, we are dealing with 2. And we are also dealing with the issue of our wastewater treatment plants, which you might see us on news with the Department of Water and Sanitation going to court because of issuing water that is non-compliant. So we're working on those issues as the city. I'm just saying sometimes it's nice to talk only about good things, but there's also this picture where we have challenges. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. I suspect the honorable members are satisfied. I can see it from Member Raslingwan. Honorable members, it's your time now. Member Diacher, Member Raslingwan, Member Dilebe, Datengubeni, my sister, are you busy with the CIC? I wanted you to find out whether you want to say something.
Yes.
And who else? Yeah. And then we'll have a Member of Parliament, Date Maneli, and a Member of Parliament. And then I will also say, I want to raise the most controversial, so I'm trying to get them wherever. Thank you. in that order.
Thank you, Chair. A lot of what I had written down was answered, but I must just tell you, when a municipality doesn't have anything to hide, then the presentation can be significantly shorter than what we've seen in the past. So well done on the presentation. I get really annoyed when I get a 90-slide presentation and it's just gibberish half the time. So well done to the CFO on his presentation. And one of my first questions would have been, what's your current collection rate? So thank you for answering that. So now I need to go through, and I can't ask all of them, but from the department side, I just want to highlight that the norm is not 15 to 30%. In fact, 30% is a critical level. A norm, a world norm, acceptable norm for water losses is 15%, not 30%. So that's what we have to work towards. Now, it is also true that there are no municipality probably in the country that's at 15%, but it doesn't mean to say that we shouldn't be striving towards that 15%. And we should measure ourselves at the best, against the best, and not the worst. So let's try and do that. Also, the surplus around sanitation, again, let's not pat ourselves on the back because there's a surplus on sanitation levels. Sanitation is just a percentage. You charge sanitation services as a percentage of water sales. So the fact that you collect and you have a surplus means that you're just collecting what you are charging, but it doesn't mean to say that that water, that sanitation is flowing into the right stream, and the executive mayor mentioned that. I must tell you, I visited Video Informal Settlement last Friday, and that is hopefully one of the pump stations that will receive attention, and no doubt you know the condition of that pump station. So I'm glad that you raised it, and that is a great concern as well. And again, I want to say to the department, we shouldn't be measuring Mogale against smaller municipalities, neighboring municipalities. We should be measuring or benchmark Mogale against bigger municipalities because of the size of the type of business that you have or that you're hosting, etc. So it should be measured against the bigger municipalities and not the smaller ones. So, yeah, what is a concern for me is the infrastructure spend, and that is the role of COCTA, and I blame COCTA. If municipalities are not spending sufficient budget on refurbish and maintenance, that means that COCTA is not fulfilling their mandate in how they are measuring or looking at municipalities. So I don't have much criticism of this municipality based on what the CFO presented, and also the fact that it's not only based on the current, on the audited figures that we're currently looking at, but also on what the corrections that's been put in place in the current, that on figures that will be submitted tomorrow. I do want to say one thing though, that sometimes we look at loans as if it's evil. And loans is not necessarily a bad thing, providing the contribution or that loan, the value of the loan outweighs the cost of the loan. So if that loan that you take out means that you're saving 15%, then paying 10% or 8%, whatever the interest rate might be, means it's a saving of 6% for the municipality, if it means that you're saving on water, electricity, infrastructure. And I just wanted to highlight that, because very often, as politicians, we look at loans as if it's an evil, but a loan can actually be a benefit, because you're essentially using the bank's money to fund. That's why we all buy houses and we rent them out and we eventually sell them, because if our rent is higher than the repayment, it's a benefit to us. So I just wanted to highlight that, but thank you and well done on these statements. Thank you.
Proceed.
Honorable Chairperson, also just to take this opportunity to welcome the presentation. Having waited an hour to start this meeting and, witnessing everything being planned here, I must say that the expectation obviously going to get a bad report, but I must say that I am covered by Honorable Diaga, but just the one question that I would like to ask from the municipality report, just on the 1.7 million that of grants that they were unable to spend, how will the municipality ensure that there is at least 100% utilization of that going forward? But overall, I think as compared to Mirafong, and I do take note of the fact that we shouldn't be comparing, but I do think that there isn't much to criticize on. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Let's the two comprehensive high-level reports that we received from the department and the municipality. Mayor expressing the infrastructure challenges despite the good work that they are doing. And also, I'm quite happy about the collection rate, revenue collection rate of 90%. But however, there's a big two, which is not part of from the oversight that we conducted recently in Mogale City. Generally a backlog of RDP houses allocation in Gauteng. Challenges. But then in our findings, there's an allegation that there's a well-known actually selling the unoccupied RDP house. And then it's alleged that he's working with the officials for the municipality. So I just want to, if it is true, what are they going? What are they planning to do? The people who are grieved by this situation within Mogale City. Thank you, Chair.
Tate Ngubeni?
Chair, and good afternoon to everyone that's in the house. Chair, I think our final analysis is probably the same, in that the municipality is indeed trending upwards in terms of their audit results, in terms of the financial controls, just general governance. I think we all are on the same page that we are on the right track, and we want to at all times congratulate the leadership for the work that they are doing. My questions, not really questions, it's just to clear clarity, because we have dealt with two reports, one from COCTA and one from the municipality. And in some instances, there is discrepancies that we see on the two reports or two presentations, and maybe the municipality can be able to clarify some of them. Firstly, it's in regards to liquidity. There is a discrepancy there in that COCTA says you are at, well, the municipality indicates that they are sitting at 1.24. Yet COCTA says we are sitting at 0.88, which is obviously far below the benchmark. If the team can just clarify which one is correct. And then when we talk to cash-backed surpluses, you will see in the presentation, Chair of COCTA, they are raising concern that the municipal surpluses are not fully cash-backed. I just want to check how much of what is reported to be 355 million of surplus is actually cash-backed. And if there is some that to ensure that that is cash-backed. I think when it comes to creditors and the 30 days, the payment, I'm glad to hear that we are now operating under 30 days. It's very positive because COCTA had reported on their presentation that you are exceeding 130 days. So this presentation events will have already. So we just want you to confirm that. I think the point about collection rate has already been. We welcome that we are at 90%, although we all know that our target, our benchmark is on that collection rate. If maybe you can, household, have been taken care of while we still make sure that our collection rate is it's on par. Chair, I think the issue of the electricity losses has been raised as well. I was actually checking the recent newspapers, and I see that there's a program on meters, rolling out of meters in the municipality. And I see that the municipality has already called in service providers in to come and assist it. I just want to check, Executive Mayor and the team, what is the timeline in terms of completing that process? Because it's going to assist the municipality in a big way if they can be able to get those smart meters on the ground. My concern, colleagues, is really on the member Diakhar was talking about the water losses, which is an issue that we see across municipalities, that we are unable to really deal with of the failure of our infrastructure. In the city, Executive Mayor, you just touched on it in your remarks, as in other spheres of government to come in, including National Treasury, in assisting you to deal with the upgrades of infrastructure in the city. What steps are you taking in that regard? I'm glad, Chair, that because there is irregular, fruitless and unauthorized expenditure from the previous year, what disciplinary or legal actions are we taking as a municipality? Irregular and fruitless, and they've been highlighted by the Auditor General. You know, irregular and fruitless and unauthorized. Can the team confirm that that's correct? And if it's part of what will be audited by the Auditor General, obviously, but it's something that it's really is interesting, and we don't see that in a lot of our 11 municipalities. Maybe lastly, Chair, it's an issue of unfunded mandates that has been raised by COCTA in their presentation. What is missing is details of what are these unfunded mandates that the municipality is running with, and if so, has there been any engagement with province and national departments? Particularly if you look at Section 32 that allows us to deal with unfunded mandates, has that been active by the team? Because unfunded mandates tends to take from municipality that's supposed to go to critical service delivery issues that are aligned with manager. There is a line which is fine in terms of that you are able to ring fence. You know, Mayor, you mentioned that only 2 people. Are these all the positions, the critical positions? Are there any that are vacant? And if COCTA is assisting you to deal with that capacity building interventions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chair. I think maybe in future we need to put Member Diager last, because he takes up all our questions all the time. The presentation, and I can say that I'm covered, but I will just have 1 or 2 questions on the indigent. The city, how many kiloliters of water and how many kilowatts of electricity is the city providing to the indigent household? Seeing that it is reported that they overuse what is provided to them. And then also, what measures are currently in place to curb the overuse of what is the city providing to the household indigents? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Member Maneli.
Thank you, Honorable Chair of the Portfolio Committee. Greetings to your members of the committee, members of Parliament, in this case the NCOP, Honorable Mananiso, the leadership of the department as led by acting HOD, and jokingly I said she once was on the other side as an MM here scrutinized Memkate. Of course, the leadership of the municipality is led politically by the executive mayor, deputy executive mayor, the speaker, and MMCs here present. The administration is led by the acting municipal manager, who happens to be also the CFO, and of course the acting CFO, who made a very short presentation, but I think quite important to help us get somewhere in terms of the questions. Chair, I must also join those that are indicating that the presentation gives you a sense that the municipality is moving forward and therefore would not want to spend time on those matters where they are doing well, but raise issues that may actually hamper that is being done well, so that there's also improvement in that regard. But I'm raising this also from a point that it should also help as you look at other municipalities. What you said would be good lessons that can be used elsewhere. I think the first point really, for me, it came out in the COCTA report, this part about contingent liabilities and the fear that if there was to be a recall of all that you may have problems financially. And even in the solutions, unless the screening was too quick. So I couldn't see actually a focus on that. And I want to really ask whether the municipality has probably considered, given that there's now at least court decisions on matters of mediation, as opposed to be locked up in courts for legal matters. Because if you look at it from HR side of things, most of the time, where they should have been resolved at a local level if mediation. For example, you'd have a situation where somebody just need an increase of 5%, which would equate to 30,000 a year. Sense from a cost benefit analysis. So I'm just checking that aspect because there was nothing. Then on the part about water losses, because there seems to be contingency, and one is happy that the municipality is doing a campaign on the indigent side, curbing the overuse and end up not being able to pay beyond what is put. So sign up for prepaid in that score. And I'm applied by the municipality, whereas electricity is split between ESCOM and the municipality. So I'm leaving the electricity because on the municipal side there is improvement, get to be an accompanying obligation. That when you write off at some point, you do not have a situation where you write off all the time because people get back to debt in any way in that score. So I'm asking electricity side. There's always been a problem from the department that are very low in terms of the people that they enlist. So it's good that there's a company learn from this. With that, at no point will they meet the requirements in terms of payments. But we shouldn't work as though municipality called Mogale City was never in that problem. And the question would then be, how did you get it right? From somewhere and you were able to deliver? Because you said you're meeting every month obligation and all that. So I'm saying, Chair, it's important from that point of understanding what could be learned from Mogale and how you turned that around. On the ESCOM side, because it's now a point that has been made by Ms. Nelsiwe in the presentation, because when she spoke to the ESCOM, she said, thanks to the debt relief. So I do not want to live with the impression that your improvement is based on the debt relief that came. And that when you are to maintain what you said you're maintaining, you are now unable to, once you've depleted stability. Whether these, if we're talking about, can be sustained because of procedures that are in place, systems, but even the people who operate them, that they are competent to do so. So I'm saying, I'm asking this question because I asked it in another municipality, and I couldn't get that sense. Because it's important to do so that it's not out of miracles and that you are able to take them forward. About consequence issues, which I couldn't pick up in the report because it's quite short. whether in the municipality there have been situations, I think, is it Honorable Member Ngwenya would have raised something about unauthorized expenditure in the past and that, and what actions would have been taken. But I want to take it further. Whether there have been law enforcement agencies that would have descended to the municipality on possible corruption and all that. And if that has been the case, how far is that? Are the cons can mess up, but there will be no consequences? We cut deals, we keep you in the system. Or change, it's still in the system, right? And people lose confidence just because of that, because there's no action. So I'm just trying to check whether it's SIU, whether it's the municipal space, and whether there are consequences in that regard. Still on the consequence management, and the good thing is that you referred us to one, which is the sewer problem, which was in the public domain. But even on that, for one is interested to avert the situation. Again, I'm asking the question, whether no money that came. So every question I've asked thus far, it's a comparison to a question important to you, the Honorable Speaker, the Councillor's part. We've also heard of a voice note that has been circulating, which creates an impression, though, that your recruitment is councillors, because they will parade people. That's what the VN says. And you can easily align that voice to a councillor. From a consequence management point of view, I think the first thing is to establish whether indeed your recruitment is in the affairs of administration, which is against the code of conduct for councillors. Has there been consequences on that? It's in the public domain. Chair, as I said, because focusing on these matters that may help the municipality, that if it addresses them.
Bayayazi. Bazwile de barekta ngakhona ukuthi bayayazi. Honorable Mananiso.
Thank you. Honorable Boyisi Maneli. Chair, I'm not sure if I'm audible. Check 1, 2. Okay. Remarks by the executive mayor, and as the person representing the NCOP, I'm very light on the fact that he understands cooperative governance, that we are not here by mistake or for something else, but to make sure that we follow through what they have done as commitment or undertakings as they do their work. So it's befitting that I make that remark, that I actually heard him clearly in terms of him understanding the oversight and accountability. But Chair, as well, I want to congratulate them for their achievement of Excellence Award by SALGA. It affirms actually that there's work that has been done. And I hope when he says that they will do more, that commitment, we need to take it so that as we do our work, coming for oversight as different committees, we are able to follow through that indeed they will be doing better and more. Chair, one is as well encouraged by the words of the acting CFO, and as other colleagues, one would want to check on some few issues. And I want to indicate that you have actually failed to sell the town by giving us pics or images in your presentation so that we touch and feel and see actually this good story that you are telling us. And in future, just put those images so that at least when I'm seated here, when the acting CFO says that we've been paying within 30 days, I'm able to follow through value for money with the pics, that indeed those that have been paid within 90 days, they have actually given the services and delivered to our people. Because what we do as members of parliament is to follow through the public purse, not you managing and controlling the finances. So I was very worried that that image I don't have. I'm trying to deal with that 90 days payment vis-a-vis service delivery, but I hope we'll get those pictures, Chairperson. But again, on other issues, I think one would want to check with regards to this collection rate of 90%. I think we are acknowledging and appreciating. And I want to say, Chairperson, can this presentation that is fully fleshed with details be sent to your office so that you can share with us, so that we check this 90%, where do they collect it in terms of Mogale City demographics, so that when we are seated here, Executive Mayor, I'm able to see that those who are marginalized, vulnerable, are even part of those that are paying or covered by indigent. So it is important that we get that picture so that as we clap hands and acknowledge your work that you are doing, we are able to say that there's no one who's been left behind. And Chair, I want to confirm that the municipality, maybe it's run better, because I went to the toilet when I came here and there is a toilet roll there. So those are small things that when we come to the municipality, small as it is, you see how we are laughing, but it's a serious issue. Small as it is, you get to a municipality, you go to the bathroom, there's nothing. It tells you something else. So I went there, there was at least 2 inside the container. So you can do better than that in terms of fixing and doing maintenance on other spaces. And I think I'm covered on issues of consequence management. One would want to say, let's get as well the report, Chairperson, on things that have been done by the municipality to ensure that those who didn't spend the 1.7 million, they are able to account for it, and what is it that is being done to follow through. Because you can't say that grant has improved with only 1.7 unspent grant. I mean, our communities will cry if we are comfortable that there's an improvement while they should not be even an unspent money. So I want to check with regards to this report that if there are consequence management, and who are those who have found wanting in making sure that this it's one of the things that we get into our financial report. And lastly, Chairperson, most of the issues were covered by the Honorable One, Diacher, and we thank you for your counsel that when we come to this space, it is important that you emphasize on what people are seeing as evil, as things that are actually normalized by law, that it must be done by municipalities when they have to service our people. And I think it was going to be nice if stakeholders, just normal stakeholders, were here, so that when the media and everybody is selling something, the narrative that is negative, they are able to get this knowledge that no, actually, it is not bad that the municipality has some loans and they are paying them. And I'm very happy, Chair, that the Executive Mayor is saying on their report, there's an indication that rainwater and ESCOM, we know that in other municipalities they are offenders, but here they don't also. You must share what is it that you are doing in Mogale City that other municipalities close to you can do. In West Rand, we know that we've got one plan, one agenda. So when we have one plan, one agenda, and one service delivery, why are other people are they actually struggling to collect from rainwater and ESCOM, while now you can do better? Thank you, Chairperson. That's it from my side.
Thank you very much. The one plan, one agenda followed the Honorable Maneli. So you must bring it back in the West Rand. Just a few, because I think the honorable members have captured quite a lot. Just to build up on one issue that was raised by Member Ngubeni on ensuring that electricity money goes to electricity, water goes to water, for instance. I'm tying that up with the issue of infrastructure, challenge of infrastructure, because if you do that, maintain and renew electricity infrastructure, unlike taking it somewhere to sports, as an example. So I'm saying that I was tying that issue. The second issue is, if you make quick analysis of your UIFW, if I'm mentioning it correctly, you will see and I think is it Member Ngobeni who spoke about that 1 billion. The question for me is, was that money did you write off that money, or did you recover some of that particular money? And if you write off, was it done item by item, or you lumped a billion and then simply wrote it off? So if one can have that sense from the municipality. Is the issue of usage of section 56? Section, pick that up. The question is, are you in a constant emergency mood, or what's happening here? If that is the effect, of course, there's a mood. That's why we can't follow normal processes in some. The last one was, it's on your senior managers. That conversion, was it done lawfully? Maybe even what do you call that? The department can help here. And I'm asking that for the sake of certainty. So that when you engage somewhere, you are able to say, certainly these people followed the law. I'm not passing any judgment in that regard. I will also join my colleague by saying, because I'm going to issue a statement, Member Maneli, to be sure that that statement would project the municipality nicely, because we deal with facts, nothing else. I think there's big progress in the municipality. We are happy where we are. Thank you very much. Can we then start with, and I know MEC, if you are still there, you will come towards the end. Can I get yes, department, come first.
Thank you very much, members, for the questions raised. On the issue of the numbers that are seeming to be contradictory to one another, I did mention when I started with the presentation that what we are presenting as a department is based on the audited financial statements of the financial year 23-24. The current 24-25 financial year has not yet been audited, so we did not use those numbers. The municipality, obviously, I have seen these numbers, that's why I mentioned and emphasized that there will be a discrepancy in numbers, because we have reviewed the financial statements of the municipality, but we can't use that. We can't base a report like this on unaudited numbers. The municipality can, but as he also indicated, the acting CFO, that it is based on the draft until it's audited and finalized as the final numbers. And we do know that municipalities still do make some adjustments to their financials. So then there is no discrepancy per se. It's just different years, different financial years. On the I think on the issue of the Rand Water ESCOM being on current, and thanks to debt relief, I think the municipality, it's not I'm saying thanks to debt relief because then it meant for them to put more effort into ensuring that they are current so that they can benefit. They clearly did, which obviously they will continue putting and doing it as a practice because not everyone that was approved for debt relief has actually been able to well current account in terms of rent, water, and ESCOM. My colleague is going to answer.
I think it's a matter that the department is with based on a recent correspondence that has been received by the department from the municipality. So the commitment is that that correspondence or response is particularly on the legality will soon be forwarded to the municipality. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I think that's all that was from the departmental side. Oh, sorry, on the unfunded mandate, on unfunded and underfunded mandates. Chair, what we were highlighting there is actually the support that we are planning to do as a COCTA because we are seized constantly with challenges in terms of the sector departments on the mandates that the municipalities are performing on behalf of sector departments in the province. However, it's either they do not fund those mandates or they underfund those mandates. So those are the plans in that slide 50. Those are the plans by department to assist. So we're basically saying we are going to look at them, analyze them, health one, which is the biggest one, and the main issue is returning the mandate back to the province completely so that then the municipalities don't have to be performing primary health care anymore because the health is not coping with making sure that there is enough mandate. And it's worse for the metros. I mean, metros spending billions on providing the primary health care, but they do not get it back from the Department of Health. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. When you're talking about those discrepancies, I remembered that big story of Mirafo. So I don't want to leave the house with, I was not sure which one is which one. The speaker has got one question, and I will ask the speaker to talk to that question, and then we can give the executive mayor in whatever manner that you want to deal with this issue. I mean, deal with your questions or answers, you will deal with them. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, and good afternoon to everyone. Hey, Honorable Maneli, now you are putting me in a corner. You know,
you are under oath,
yeah,
this is the
yeah.
Just be careful.
Yeah, but what we can confirm with you, colleagues, is that I know that the Office of the Speaker, through a legal, we are busy investigating on that voice note. As for now, I can't say as to at what stage we are, but what I can confirm is that we are busy investigating on that voice note. Thank you.
That's the simplest way for politicians to run away from the question. Executive Mayor.
Thank you, Chair. We begin with the acting CFO. The acting MM can add, and then I will wrap up our responses to the municipality. So, acting CFO.
Deputy CFO.
Good day, honorable members. Executive Mayor, I will assist the acting CFO as acting MM. Then colleagues from senior management team also will pitch in. I will try my utmost. I will start with member Rasi Lingwe, where she was asking about the 1.7 million unspent grant that we didn't spend. It was a Shrek for libraries. We couldn't get the service providers on time. It was a matter of 7 days quotation, the 300,000. They were not responsive, Chairperson. So we are busy with the rollover, hoping to hear our case and give us the 1.7 million. We are intending that going forward, we need to start early. We have issued a circular to go out on quotations, not necessarily tenders. We need to do it earlier. I think the mistake was both from the department and supply chain, mostly supply chain, because we were overwhelmed that time. So but the plan moving forward is to start early. Going to member Dilebo in terms of okay, I'm not going to respond on the allegation of the houses, RDP houses that are being sold. I think Executive Mayor will do the honor. The discrepancies, I think, on the issue of liquidity and the previous financial year, or the prior year and the current one, the year under review, COCTA has really clarified. The cash-backed surplus, member Ngobeni, it's indeed cash-backed. If you go to our financial statement, you can see the money that we have in the bank. We've got short-term deposits, 90 days, where we call it, it's our safe space, where we know that if ESCOM, like for the past 2 months, we paid ESCOM close to 500 million. We managed to pay it because we have been stashing money aside, knowing that there will be time that in winter, the invoice is high. So it's really cash-backed. And also it's money that you can, current assets, our current assets has increased. We do have assets that you can quickly sell it, then you cover your expenses. The issue of 95%, it's possible, but under this economic situation, our customers are angry at us, very angry, because of issue of electricity. Electricity is no longer affordable. We recently, a year ago, restructured our electricity. We moved from a flat rate that we used. We are the only one in the whole of Gauteng that we are charging flat rate. Whether your consumption is high or low, you are paying the same price, but we are buying at ESCOM at a higher price. So we recently changed from 2024-2025, we changed our tariff structure of electricity into IBT, inclining block tariffs. The more you consume, the more you pay. But however, our clients are not happy. I think everybody knows that AfriForum has taken us to court. The matter, we won it at the High Court, but they took it to appeal. So we are waiting for the appeal court to sit. Indigent household, we do have 6 kiloliter free, 50 kilowatts free. Then other services like your sanitation, property rates, they are 100% covered. But for us, the main issue of not controlling consumption of indigents is on water. Currently, that's why you see our water losses is high. Our meters are not functioning. Back then, 10 years, 20 years ago, we implemented prepaid meters, but unfortunately, they are no longer working because the lifespan, the batteries are not finished, they are no longer being produced. Then what we did as management, we said that we are going to focus on the high-paying areas in Krugersdorp, northern suburbs, to convert those meters into conventional. Then the township, we're still having problems that they are on straight pipes, they are on prepaid, the water just flowing, including those indigents. We keep on, as soon as we approve you, we write off for water, but for electricity, because the policy, the indigent policy states that they need to have prepaid electricity. We don't have a problem on that one. And also the issue of electricity losses, even though for the current year under review, it has somehow increased. We are in a process of RT29 where National Treasury has approved Vodacom as a service provider to assist us. So we are currently on the phase of procuring people who will do the audit of meters in all the whole of Krugersdorp, where we are targeting certain areas. So MMC Mudise knows that we are currently on the procurement level where we are sourcing out a small SMME to do auditing of meters and installation. So the project is ongoing. The anticipation was to finish at least end of October, but because of the delays, we will hear from National Treasury as a funder. Also, water losses, it's very difficult to deal with it because we all know that Krugersdorp is an old town. We are dealing with a pipe that are asbestos. Time and again, they are bursting. We have a high rate of vacancies in the infrastructure. The response time of attending to those water losses, it's an ideal one. What we did this financial year, we took a stance that we are now going to focus on maintenance of our infrastructure, where we are now 8% as per the norm. So we are also going to fill the vacancies. We've got close to 143 vacancies that we need to fill in infrastructure to deal, especially we are targeting water, to deal with the response time in responding to water pipe burst, because come rain, you will find water pipe over the town. So we think that by vacancies will be our reaction time will be quicker. And the issue of writing off of the 1.4 billion, it was done in the previous financial figure from 2017. Most irregular expenditure identified by AG was a legacy. So the impact was, we keep on rolling all those legacy contracts. MPEC investigated, they call everybody into the investigation, they compile the report. I'm not going to take your spotlight, Chairperson. You need to, the process, you will explain your processes. UIF, in terms of unauthorized, for the past 2 financial years, we managed not to have any unauthorized. Like Cocta indicated that we put internal control in place. Fruitless expenditure, also the issue was the interest that we were paying to both rainwater and ESCO. So for the past 2 years, we didn't have that fruitless. The ones that you saw that it was also legacy of not being written off, it was investigated and be written off. The issue of unfunded mandates, we do have one which is licensing, but the senior manager, CDS, will be able to answer into it. Restructuring of tariffs, yes, we have started with electricity, we have restructured it. So we are in a process of dealing with restructuring water. Because what we do currently, we are just passing the increase from rainwater to our customers. So we need to look into it. We are working with Provincial Treasury. They've got what you call tariff model. So they are assisting us on that. I think the issue of indigent subsidy I've already indicated. The litigation matters, the senior manager, corporate support services will be able to talk to it. Then the water losses also I have the issue of meters and conventional meters. I have already explained that we are those old prepaid meters into conventional meters. We are now left with the township, which is the biggest, and tell you that I've got a prepaid water will be lying to the. It's only electricity that is got smart meters that is functional. So we are still about townships. Member Maneli, there is no new money that we got. We didn't win lotto as the municipality. We took conscious decisions. We need to deal with expenditures. We have cutters. We used to have water tankers. We are renting it from service providers. We spent close to 200 million. So we decided that from 2022 that we are going to get our own trucks and we hire our own drivers to deliver those waters. We have saved a lot, close to 200 million. We are currently having 16 trucks that we are using it as an our own. We have cut the issue of leasing the vehicles that we are rendering services. We are procuring our own vehicles through RT. Waste, we have acquired our own waste removal trucks. So that is why the new CFO, indeed, a member Mogale, so there was no toilet paper. So there was nothing that was working. We are not always on a crisis mode of having deviations. There was no tender, nothing. The previous committees were not functioning, were not doing anything. So we resorted to deviation as a measure of temporary. So some were for 6 months, some were for 12 months. But unfortunately, AG felt that it was a lack of planning on us. That's why they were saying everything that we deviated in 21, 2022, it's irregular. That's why we regress in terms of our audit opinion. Currently, for the past 2 years, deviation is a soy word. We are not taking any deviations. It's dying. We are not going to listen to you. So we have taken, I think we took to write off those legacy from 2016 contracts. The water and electricity payments also has assisted us to now start diverting money to what we need properly, which is service delivery infrastructure. That is why I was saying that for this, that we will focus in maintenance of our infrastructure. Percy Stewart is still having problems, but I can assure you there is a progress. I wish we could have put a picture to show you the sludge previously and what went from the mistakes that happened previously. And we keep on learning.
Thank you very much. Just before they proceed, you gave a comprehensive for them. Now it's hating that. And I'm representing you, Honorable Madam Maneniso. I saw
senior managers that they can only add when it's necessary to do so, because I believe the acting MM attempted to cover all issues. So only if there's something left out, sure, so that we can respond. E.D.
Thank you very much. Greetings to honorable leadership. My name is Lavi Mudiba. I'm the Executive Director responsible for Community Development Services. I'll only speak to those issues that the MM did not touch. And Cecily Siwa, I think she partially touched on unfunded and underfunded mandate. At least with Mogale City, the primary health care services is not affecting us. I think it's mostly affecting the metros because we are not rendering that service. The only challenge with that particular function is that I think somewhere, some 10 years back, it's provincialized, everything else except the buildings. The buildings remained under the ownership of Mogale City, so without paying for them. It's a free ride to them, and we've been engaging with them to indicate that, you know, they are contributing towards the revenue leaks of the municipality. And remember, we cannot switch them off. They are an essential service. So we need an intervention from this committee to health, to pay for municipal services that are provided by the municipality, because we're also not getting those services for free. We pay. The actual unfunded mandate that is affecting not only Mogale City, as we know that that function is not a local government competency. We are, you know, rendering that service on behalf of the Gauteng Department of Road and Transport, but yet we retain only 20% from what we are making from all these renewals of licenses, you know, registration of your motor vehicles. We are only retaining 20%. The 80% goes to the province, and we are working at a loss because the municipality is paying for the services that is being consumed there by licensing staff, the salaries and compensation of employees, your overtime, because there are weekends that we normally open our licensing center in Delportin to assist the community. So there's overtime that we are paying, there's insurance towards the building that the licensing is occupying, there's a security services expenditure that we are incurring, cleaning services. We are not billing because the building belongs to us, you can't bill yourself. So we have been engaging with the department, and just to inform the committee that Mogale City was the champion of this, hence through our office we are chairing the Gauteng task team to negotiate the agency review to at least the function to self-fund. We are not saying we want to make profit, but let all the expenditures of what I've mentioned, let them be deducted before we can share the profit. So this engagement with the Office of the MEC of Gauteng Department of Road and Transport, as well as the HOD in GDRT, did not yield any results. Then through SALGA, we have escalated this matter. Now we wrote a letter to the Office of the Premier. The Office of the Premier directed MEC Maile, MEC Mamabolo, and MEC Diale to handle the matter. So we're hoping for a favorable outcome that...
Don't go too deep. The
yes.
mayor just told me that
I
he has never had anything to eat since in the morning.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Chairperson. That is the opportunity that we wanted to take, at least to assist us in this matter. But just to heal your heart, to what the main reason of the non-spending as well is late transfer of grants. As we are seated here, it's August, the second month. The Department of Sport, Arts and Culture have not even transferred the money as yet. So the municipality is paying the staff and everything with our own funding. Thank you very much. Let me leave it there.
Thank you very much. I'm becoming more head. Are we fine? Just add on those areas as per the request of the Executive Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chairperson. Just one issue on the contingency liability. There are a number of individuals and companies that are litigating against the municipality for various reasons. So what we do, we make a provision, and that provision is called contingency liabilities, the best estimates that we can make, because at any given point we need to defend the municipality, because a lot of these individuals and companies are taking chances, thinking that the government won't be defending the matter and they will get an out-of-court settlement. But we are pushing them back, we're defending those matters. MP Maneli, the issues that you were making reference to, which is the labor disputes, those ones are not a bulk, but those ones, they get easily settled out of court between ourselves and the unions. But also the employees take chances because it's either they want promotion by backdoor or they want to get their salaries increased. But those ones are easily settled out of court. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Executive Mayor.
Thank you, Chair. I don't know if the MPEC chairperson wants to comment on the 1 billion or any other issue that relates to consequence management. So, Chair, please comment on that issue.
No, thank you very much, Chair. As the CFO has alluded, what she's saying is true, reflection of what we have done as MPEC. But after doing our own investigation, the MPEC has referred the report to council for the possible write-off. But not only that, with the recommendation of saying the MM and the CFO must recover where is possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. Can we give it to the Executive Mayor?
Thank you, Chairperson. I'll just respond to a few issues because I believe that a number of issues have been responded to. But I'm hoping that when our political term of office ends, myself and the councillors will be able to say that, like a phoenix, we rose from the ashes. And that would be the story. That would be the story that we want to tell and the legacy that we want to leave behind. But we know that it would be too soon to pat ourselves in the back. Osjane, you see, I'm sitting with my sisters, and I'm lucky. Hello, Osjane. So we commit that what we are doing will even, it makes us excited to sit in this kind of meetings because you make us to want to do it more and more and more. So that when you come here, we have a story to tell on how we are governing the city here. And I want to say primarily because we are black and we don't want to be associated with failure. We also know that we represent many who are marginalized, many who are not trusted with this responsibility, many who are at the center of dysfunctionality, and we want to be different and provide this leadership that we are providing in our municipality. So the last part on the issue of conversion of contracts of senior managers is to make the point that we exercise our executive and legislative authority for council resolution. So it was a council decision to then say these senior managers must be converted to full-time. But the quagmire that was there, Chair, is the fact that these senior managers were employed in later after 2022 when there was a proclamation that they should be full-time. and we never offered them contracts of full-time. So maybe we must clarify that it is not something that we decided that we like them, let's make them full-time. They were initially supposed to be employed full-time. We can't tell what happened when they were supposed to be appointed full-time and then given contracts of 5 years after the legislation dictates that they must be full-time. So in my engagement with the municipal manager, we did seek a legal opinion on the matter. And that's why we took it to council, and council thought it to be prudent that we convert. Because if you don't convert, there's a legality issue also on these senior managers that they can challenge the municipality in terms of that particular issue. So those are other factors that we looked at. I know in the fifth administration, there was an issue of non-compliance in terms of appointment of senior managers in Mogale City because they were not appointed on a full-time basis as the legislation requires. We have informed the MEC of this decision and will then be further advised on whether it was the correct decision to make or see would advise us. The other political issue relates to the issue of consequence management. And I want to say there are a number of cases that, in fact, what delayed us to come to the meeting were receiving a report in terms of investigations on officials in relation to land sales in the municipality, in relation to stock theft and whatever issues. I don't know if the speaker would discipline me for mentioning that we were dealing with these issues in committee. So there is consequence management. There are issues that we follow up on. There are matters from the MPEC report that have been referred to the disciplinary report, and they come to report to council on some of the findings and what must be done in terms of officials who are not doing their job properly. And it's a work in progress in terms of what we are doing as the municipality. I also want to say we have, I think, over 46,000 in terms of housing backlog, agreeing with the member in terms of their inputs. And there are those allegations of people who are selling RDP houses. And we want to mention it's not our competence, it's the competence of the province in terms of issuing of houses and so on. But we do know that there would be allegations that either a councillor or an official is involved. And one of the challenges with that chairperson is that people don't go to the police station. So we want to encourage, when there are such cases, that people go to law enforcement agencies, because people get away with these things because nobody reports them. And you would see sometimes maybe people are afraid because you are in the middle of the crime. Like we're paying a bribe to get a house, then you don't get it. Then you are afraid to now go and report, and now you want to use political avenues to raise these issues in community meetings and so on. But it does not assist us as the municipality to hold those people accountable. So we hope that that issue can be attended to. Same as the recruitment processes in the municipality, we want to affirm that we have a recruitment policy that we abide with, and that no politician or councillor or political party employs in this municipality. And want to assure our communities that everybody who is appointed here goes through that particular process in line with our recruitment processes. And if there is evidence that there are people who are politically employed, then we must investigate that matter. And those people must be fired because they are not employed in terms of the recruitment policy of the municipality. So when that voice note came out, we investigated with HR on whether, because that guy says, the mayor, I want you there. where those people will be in one line and I'm confirming which party they come from. So we confirmed with HR on the processes that they follow and we are confident that those processes are above board. When an advert goes out, it's the HR management that deals with the recruitment and appointment of people in the municipality. I think also, Chairperson, just to confirm, politically we also have, we are also committed to ensuring that the finances of the municipality are used wisely. One of the issues that was a burden on the financial fiscus of the municipality was the issue of contracted services. And the acting MMS referred to that issue on building in-house capacity. Just to confirm that there's no any additional resources that we're getting as the municipality. But this commitment that even when we've have been here since 10 a.m. until now, myself and the speaker and councillors, we have not eaten, but there will be no attempt to tell the CFO that you must get us food. We have adopted cost containment. If you want food, you must bring your scaffolding to the meetings. So those small discipline assist us to change the culture and the way of doing things in the municipality. When you are traveling, you are likely to enter an accommodation that has cockroaches here. We give you the cheapest one. No 5-star accommodation. So we've had serious financial discipline, even ourselves as politicians, because I know sometimes we like to insist to have 5-star treatment, being treated like VIPs. But we have adjusted that as a form of a lifestyle in this municipality. And in conclusion, we had a 3-year twinning program as the municipality with a municipality in Sweden. So we spent quite substantial time with them learning best practices. So I just want to say, when there's comparison, we're at that level, or compared with first-class countries. Thank you very much, Chair.
One of the issues I raised is municipalities are not communicating. You're not communicating, the communities don't know all of these things, it's only us here. And when I leave here, somebody asked me, what was here? That municipality is just nonsense. I'm not presenting the facts as they are. So you've got to up your communication strategy, really, and invest more. At some point, Mogale City was the city. So even if I say I'm going to, or I come from Randfontein, they say, where? Randfontein? Where? No, I passed through Mogale City. They say, oh, we see. But now they don't even know Mogale City. We are, well, they call us what? West of Johannesburg. We've gone back to west of Johannesburg. So can we communicate? But I think, is the MEC still there? Because I want to move towards closure now. Chabu, is the MEC there?
No, Chair, I'm here.
Can you say your last words, MEC? Can you see?
After so many speakers, Chair, I'm not sure if 1 minute will do, but let me not go into details. I can clearly hear that you want to close the meeting. But let me start by thanking you for accepting my plea that we created this line. And I hope you have accepted the HOD and myself's apologies, because there was this Lehota that was scheduled, and when there was a change in time, it affected both of us. But thanks for your understanding. And let me also greet all the members. Chair, I will not go into details. I really wanted to respond to a number of issues, but I think I will not do that. Just 2-3 points. The first one is that the approach that we take And I think this is very important for members of the NCOP and of course of the National Assembly. I think in the NCOP I've said many times that the approach we take is to work with municipalities, is to support the municipalities. And in the turnaround that we have launched, the turnaround strategy of the province, our approach is supporting our municipalities. If you just look at, I mean, the issue of wastewater treatment plants, we have been to Percy Stewart more than 3 times. The Premier of the province has also visited the site when there were problems with the Department of Water and Sanitation about serious violations of the water use license. So that's one example we can indicate. I must commend the municipality for the launch in June of the Leratong nodal development. I think whilst we're looking at basic services, but I think economic growth and investments are very important. And I must congratulate the mayor for pulling this together. This is a major investment initiative in the municipality, and I think that should be commended. The other issue, Chair, is that just on the last point you raised about communication, we have got IGR meetings almost every week to support our turnaround. On Monday, 6 o'clock, we do communications in municipalities. We have set up an IGR structure with MMCs of corporate services, and we are supported by government communications in the province, and of course the Premier's office. But this issue of communication by municipalities, it's a big issue. There are certain municipalities where you have got only one person doing communication. You have got lack of investments in communication. So we do monitor municipal communication every Monday, and we're doing oversight on that function. I want to agree with you. Let me comment Mogale City that in the IGR structures that we have, they attend our meetings. That's why we also chose them to launch the law enforcement operations that we held in Mogale City last month. And it was a great success, bringing all our municipalities together. It was a wonderful activity. In general, on compliance, on many other issues, starting with those that Honorable Dijaka raised, Raslingwani at the beginning, and also Honorable Maneli, and all the members. All those issues we have noted them, will attend to them when the portfolio committee comes next week. We will be able to deal with these issues. Honorable Manani, so thanks to you as well. Let me thank all the members and thanks for the positive feedback. The overwhelming feedback is that this municipality is in a good shape. It can improve, there's a need to improve, but I think your feedback makes our job easy in that they will continue to engage on the issues. But otherwise, thanks to you, Chair, for your understanding. This is highly, highly appreciated, and we will continue to work together. Let me end it here so that I don't take your time, Chair. But we have noted all the issues. We will engage next week when the COCTA Portfolio Committee come to the province. We will be able to deal with some of the issues. Thanks to you, Chair. And thanks to all honorable members. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, MEC. I think what we appreciate is that whilst you gave us an apology, you even said create a platform so that I can be part of the meeting, which is very important. Other people will just give you apology, that's the end of it. So we really appreciate the commitment you have to work with the committee and your corporation. Indeed, as I close, the issues that we've raised here, those that need follow-up will not fall through cracks. We, as a portfolio committee, would be able to take them forward, and if there's a need to interact with the executive mayor and your team, we will do so. But we want to thank you visit by the committee, the oversight visit by the committee. Thank you for the report, the presentation you made. The two members, we changed time. Honorable Maneko and then the speaker intervened because the mayor did not want to be part of that with it. Thank you all, and particularly members of the, you said something profound, Executive Mayor. That for me, that's how we should be closing this meeting. We rose through the ashes. Thank you.